Ladies and gentlemen, consider for a moment the Stoic response to a common human predicament. Despite our diligent pursuits of knowledge, achievements, and ethical living to better ourselves, why do we often find ourselves ensnared in dissatisfaction? This inquiry, while framed within the context of Taoism, reveals a profound parallel with Stoic philosophy. Stoicism, much like Taoism, recognizes the inherent futility in mankind's relentless efforts to impose order and achieve perfection in the external world. The Stoics, with their focus on virtue and wisdom, argue that true contentment arises not from external acquisitions or achievements, but from aligning our will with nature and accepting what is beyond our control. Consider the concept of logos in Stoicism, akin to the Taoist Tao. Logos represents the rational structure of the universe, guiding it naturally and effortlessly. Stoics believe that human dissatisfaction stems from resisting this natural order, from trying to control what is inherently uncontrollable. To live in accordance with nature, or logos, means to recognize our place within the universe's vastness, accepting the flow of life without futile resistance. Reflect upon the Stoic practice of focusing only on what is within our power, our thoughts, perceptions, and actions. Marcus Aurelius, a prominent Stoic philosopher, emphasizes the importance of inner tranquility over external conditions. Just as Lao Tzu warns against the excesses that dull our senses, Stoics warn against allowing external circumstances to disturb our peace of mind. Moreover, Stoicism and Taoism both critique the excessive reliance on societal structures and norms. Stoics argue that true virtue and ethical living are not about adhering to complex codes of conduct, but about developing inner character and wisdom. This mirrors the Taoist skepticism towards man-made rules and the emphasis on simplicity and naturalness. In pondering these parallels, let us question how we might find contentment not by incessantly striving for more, but by embracing the wisdom of both Stoicism and Taoism, living in harmony with the natural world, focusing on what is within our control, and cultivating inner virtue. By understanding and applying these philosophical insights, we may discover that the path to true contentment is not through relentless pursuit, but through wise acceptance and alignment with the natural flow of life. This reflection invites us to reconsider our approach to life. Might we find greater fulfillment in embracing effortless action and aligning ourselves with the natural order, much as the Stoics advocate for living in accordance with nature? In our daily lives, let us seek not just activity for its own sake, but actions that resonate with the deeper natural rhythms of existence, embodying the Stoic ideal of living in harmony with the universe. In the Stoic interpretation of these Taoist principles, particularly regarding Wu Wei or effortless action, we find a compelling alignment with the Stoic practice of acting in accordance with nature. The Stoic might view the literal interpretation of Wu Wei as an encouragement to act not through forceful exertion, but with the grain of nature's inherent logic and order. The Stoic perspective also challenges the achievement-oriented society's obsession with control and the alteration of outcomes. Seneca, a Stoic philosopher, would argue that our discontent springs from our resistance to the natural flow of life and our attempt to control what lies beyond our power. The Stoic lesson here aligns with the Taoist insight. By surrendering our compulsive need to control every outcome, we may find that life unfolds more smoothly and problems often resolve themselves without our forceful intervention. Our societal conditioning to dichotomize and resist natural processes reflects a misunderstanding of the Stoic ideal of working with nature, not against it. The Stoic understands that life is a balance of opposites, and that attempting to eliminate perceived negatives only disrupts the harmony of existence. This mirrors the Taoist acceptance of life's dualities and the flow between them. Reflecting on the works of Alan Watts and the paradoxes he highlights, a Stoic might see a confirmation of the principle that efforts to forcefully better the world without wisdom and understanding of natural laws can lead to unintended consequences. Stoicism teaches us to approach our intentions with caution, ensuring that our actions are guided by virtue and a deep understanding of the natural order. The must-save-the-world mindset, critiqued through the lens of both Taoism and Stoicism, illustrates the pitfalls of imposing ideologically driven solutions without regard to the natural complexities and the autonomy of individuals. The story of Yan Hui and Confucius underscores a Stoic caution. the wisdom in recognizing the limits of our influence, and the importance of acting with respect to the freedom and nature of others. As we reflect on these teachings, let us consider how we might integrate the principles of effortless action and a deep respect for the natural order into our own lives. By doing so, we might discover that the path to a more harmonious existence does not lie in forceful intervention, but in a wise and measured approach that aligns with the fundamental principles of the world around us. In this narrative, the Stoic response to the Taoist skepticism of external pursuits for happiness mirrors a profound understanding that virtue and inner tranquility are the true sources of contentment. The Stoics, much like the Taoists, caution against the futility of seeking happiness in material wealth, status, or sensory pleasures. They argue that these pursuits, inherently transient and outside our control, cannot provide lasting happiness. Marcus Aurelius, the Roman emperor and Stoic philosopher, would likely nod in agreement with Lao Tzu's skepticism towards controlling the world or seeking fulfillment in external achievements. Aurelius famously advised that the pursuit of external things leads not to happiness, but to anxiety and disappointment, because these are not up to us. He emphasized focusing on our own virtue and acting in accordance with nature, which he saw as the path to true contentment. The Stoic concept of happiness diverges from the conventional chase for external validations. It is found in the cultivation of personal virtue and living in harmony with reason. Happiness, for a Stoic, is the result of a well-ordered mind, one that understands and accepts the natural order of the world, and finds peace in what it can control, its own thoughts and actions. Reflecting on the Taoist story about the folly of chasing happiness through material wealth and external achievements, a Stoic would see a powerful illustration of their shared wisdom. The Stoics would argue that such pursuits are not merely fruitless, but also contrary to the natural order, which values simplicity, virtue, and the acceptance of life's inherent flux. In this dialogue between ancient philosophies, we find a timeless message. The essence of a fulfilling life is not captured in the outward chase for success, but in the inward journey towards self-awareness, virtue, and harmony with the universe. Let us reflect on this wisdom as we navigate the complexities of life, seeking not to dominate or control, but to understand and coexist with the natural rhythms that govern our existence. Epictetus, a Stoic philosopher, would likely contend that the discontent arising from desires to change our natural state reflects a misunderstanding of what is truly within our control. He taught that freedom and happiness come from accepting what we cannot change and focusing our efforts on cultivating our internal character. The Stoic solution to the identity crisis is not to seek external alterations, but to develop a sense of contentment with one's inherent nature. The middle path suggested by Taoism, advocating for balance and conservation of health, resonates with the Stoic principle of living according to nature. Stoics emphasize living a life of virtue in accordance with reason, which naturally leads to a balanced and harmonious existence. This Stoic virtue is akin to the Taoist concept of staying centered amidst the chaos of life. Lao Tzu's idea of seeking the Tao by unlearning mirrors, the Stoic practice of re-examining and discarding false beliefs that disturb our peace of mind. Seneca, another Stoic philosopher, advised periodic self-examination and the shedding of unnecessary desires and beliefs to achieve a state of tranquility. The goal of reaching a state of inner stillness, where happiness occurs naturally, is a shared aspiration between Taoism and Stoicism. The Stoic achieves this through practicing virtue and aligning actions with nature, leading to a life where one is content with what they have and are. This state of fasting of the heart, as described by Taoism, is akin to the Stoic ideal of achieving apatheia, or freedom from disturbing passions. Thus, both Taoism and Stoicism guide us towards a similar conclusion: the cessation of futile attempts to alter our fundamental nature and the embrace of a more profound acceptance of ourselves and the world. In embracing these ancient wisdoms, we're reminded that the journey to self-acceptance and contentment does not require us to become something we're not. Instead, it invites us to rediscover the beauty and sufficiency of our inherent nature, encouraging us to live in harmony with the world and ourselves. Let us then, with the guidance of Stoic and Taoist principles, unlearn our way to wisdom and find in our inner stillness the happiness that has been there all along, waiting to be recognized.